Well, hi everyone, this is Don Smith. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you may be watching this video. Hey, today I thought I would do something kind of fun and a little bit different. And I like to call this technique I'm going to teach you today light blending. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the best light from one frame and merge it into the same frame. Now you're going to have to be set up on a tripod out in the field. And I think it's going to be easier if we just jump right in here and I show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I recently was out in Grand Teton National Park, one of my favorite national parks, and especially in the fall. And we were wrapping up the end of a fall workshop. And my partner, Gary Hart, was helping me out, and then he and I went on to the Eastern Sierra, and I helped him on his workshop. But this is the last morning, and I always kind of saved this shot for the last morning. And I thought it would be kind of cool to take one or two of these shots and merge them together. And I kind of liked, let's see, maybe this shot here. Yeah, and then you can see I've added, I'm going to direct your eye up here, I have added a Tony Kuiper nonlinear profile. Now you can go to Tony's site, go down below, I have the link to his repository profile page, and pick one up for your camera. They're absolutely free. And then I have another shot. Now watch this when I click here, and notice how the barn is starting to get painted. But this is just when the light over our right shoulder was starting to crest a little hill behind us. So let me get back to the one I wanted. I wanted that one there, and I'm going to Command or Control click that one there, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say open up as layers in Photoshop. Now, there's a reason I didn't tell you to open up as a smart object in Photoshop, and that's going to come in the alignment of these images. For you sharp-eyed people out there, you saw when I clicked from one to the other, I had maybe bumped my tripod just a smidgen. If I open these up as a smart object, what it would allow me to do is bring it back in and adjust the colors for each one, but that's why I adjusted them on the front end. I had to open them up as layers because the auto blend or the auto align function in Photoshop won't work if it's a smart object, and I'm going to show you right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to command click both of these, Command or Control. I'm on a Mac, so if I say command, it means the same thing as control on PC. And I'm going to come right down here to where it says Auto Align Layers. I'm going to make sure I have a check mark on Auto, and I'm going to click OK. And you can see that I was off a little bit. Look over here on the right edge, and that's okay. They are aligned now. And how do I know? Well, if I take the opacity down, you can start to see that there's no misalignment of the barn or the mountains. But I'm going to take that one up all the way. And what I want to do is let's turn this off. So this is kind of, I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to call this sunrise, because this is when the first sunrise light was hitting the barn. And this one, what I like about this image, and let me turn that on, is the alpenglow hitting the peaks up here. And so I'm going to double click on that and just type in alpenglow. There we go. And alpenglow, I've described this a number of times before. If you're new with me, it's a German word that just means that it's kind of a very intense reddish look on the, let me turn this off here. I'm sorry, every time I hover over the object selection tool wants to work, and we're going to use that in this video. But I want to get these looking a little more to what these peaks, looking a little more to what my eyes saw. So I'm just going to make sure I've highlighted that layer, and I'm going to do this through Luminar Neo just to kind of speed this up. And also because I think it does a great job. And I'll leave my discount code of 15% off down below in the show notes. Go over and grab yourself a copy. I come back into Neo, N-E-O, quite a bit. And I'm going to show you, I'm just going to click on that Edit tab. And I'm going to come up here to Enhance. And I'm just going to take the accent up a little bit. And now you can see it's darkening the sky and lightening those peaks. But this is what I really like. If you come down here into landscape, watch how intense the light gets on those peaks now. I've warmed it up. And I'm going to click Apply. And that, to me, looks more like what my eyes saw when I was out on location. And really, what we're trying to do, I feel, in processing as landscape photographers, and I've always said processing is 50% of what we're doing. The first 50% is being on location, capturing the frame and exposing it correctly and composing it right and all those good things. And then we're going to bring it to our full vision back here in the processing program. So now let me turn off this one, and we're going to go and do the same thing. Come under Filter. I'm trying to talk and look at the same time. Come out to Luminar Neo, and I want to get that light on the barn looking a little more warm, the way my eye had seen it. And so once again, I'm going to click this Edit tab up here. I'm going to come to Enhance, and I'm just going to bring the accent up a little bit on it. Okay, and then I'm going to come down to Landscape and do the same thing. I'm going to apply Golden Hour. That's more of the look that we had in that barn when we were out on location. Okay, so let this render. And now I'm going to just double check my work here. Okay, so now you see that I do indeed have both layers up here. Alpenglow on top, sunrise on the bottom. What I'm going to do is come up here into my toolbar, and I'm going to select the object selection tool, and I'm going to hover over the barn. You can see it makes a pretty good outline on the barn, and I'm just going to click it. And when I do, it puts the marching ants around it. And now I'm going to come here to the bottom of my layer palette, and I'm going to add a layer mask. And when I do that, it's given me the reverse of what I want, but that's okay. Here's how you reverse it out. Because remember, we want the first light on the peaks, the alpenglow. So make sure your mask is highlighted. If it's not, click it. Then you're going to click on the Command key on a Mac, Control key on a PC, and the I for Command or Control I. And that's going to inverse it. And now you can see we have the image made with the beautiful light on the barn and the beautiful light on the peaks. And that's what I want. Now, we got to do a few things here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click into the crop tool in Photoshop. I'm going to hold my Shift key down to keep the proportion correctly. And I want to look on the right side over here, this little cottonwood over here. I don't want to clip that off. And I'm not sure, I may cut right through the left side over here. Let's kind of look. Maybe if we, no, I want to come right about there on that cottonwood. And then I'm going to come up and hit the check mark. Okay. Now we have some smudgy dirt up here. And now that I have the mask in place, I don't really need that anymore. So I'm going to hit Command or Control E to flatten it. Okay. And then I am going to open up my Adobe Camera Raw. You could come up under Filter and go to Camera Raw right here. I do have the Tony Kuiper mask up. And this is only if you're using Adobe Camera Raw in Photoshop. It's not into Lightroom yet. I'm imagining it's going to get into the next update of Lightroom here. And what I am going to do, and whoops, we could see that we missed a little bit of the crop. We'll deal with that Oh no, it does, excuse me, it brings it in to Adobe Camera Raw, not showing the crop. So when I go back out to Photoshop, it'll apply the crop. I hope I didn't confuse you there. But I am going to come up here to the little eraser tool, and I'm going to click, and I've made a separate video on this where I click on the dust, and when I click apply, you're going to see it's going to run through the AI, and now we're going to see where all the little dust specks are, and all I have to do is hit OK. And now we're back out to Photoshop with the light on the barn that I want, the Alpenglow light back in here, dust spots removed, the crop applied. That's all pretty cool. Okay, what else can we do here? I don't really like this dirt, but I do like these leaves. So I think I'm going to go back into Adobe Camera Raw. I'm going to just do it through Tony Kuiper. And I'm going to come up here to my masking tool, and I'm going to come over here to linear gradient. And I'm going to start over here in the corner and draw a gradient up kind of this way to hit that dirt, but leave some of those leaves in place. And I'm just going to take the exposure down to work the eye away from that dirt, okay? And then I'm going to add a new mask. So we're going to click on that plus. And I think, how do I want to do this? I think I'll go to the brush tool. And I am going to just take the exposure down maybe about a half a stop or a little more. And just start painting in here. I don't have to be perfect because I can come back out and adjust that. I'm going to use the left and right bracket key to size down my brush. And I'm going to come down in through here, just some of this dirt, and it's pretty dark. So I'm going to maybe, let's see, take the exposure back up a little because that's a little too annoying. Right about in there. And then I'm actually going to hit the subtract with a brush because I kind of got a little heavy-handed right through that grassy portion right there and right in through there. Okay, anything else? Yes. Well, no, I'm going to say no because, again, I'm looking at this full frame. And I'm going to click OK. Let's come back out to Photoshop so we actually see it cropped. And now I think we're starting to look pretty good. And I apologize for keep bouncing in and out of Lightroom, but I'm going to have to do this and I'm going to show you why. So we're going to come Adobe Camera Raw again, or you could go to Filter, Camera Raw, and I'm going to come down here to the Color Mixer tab. And if the Color Mixer tab is closed, just open it up. And I'm going to come on to this little targeted adjustment tool. I call it a TAT, T-A-T tool. And first of all, I'm going to drop it up here in the peaks and richen those up just a little bit. And then I want to come down. I'm going to leave that alone. No, I'll come down here. I actually want to take some of these green foliage, this grass, and then if I can just get one of these yellow leaves and pop those leaves out of there a little bit more, not too much. And now let's click OK. And by the way, I do want to tell you that when I was applying the Tony Kuiper profile way back at the beginning, I also did just a little bit of sharpening, just a default at 20, I believe it defaults at 25 points. And I also added a lens and camera profile. It picked it up, but I wanted to double check that it picked it up. And if it didn't, you can just click those check boxes and it will pick it up for you. Okay, so now I think I'm really starting to like this. And I would do one more thing here. I'm going to go Command or Control J, and I'm going to come up to my Topaz Photo AI. And I don't have a discount code for this, but believe me, it is just a phenomenal a phenomenal piece of software. And you can go back on my YouTube channel and find YouTubes I've done about this. And what I'm going to do while this is opening, I've had autopilot turned on. If it's off, you can go actually into your preferences and toggle that on and off. And I'm going to click on that I do want the noise on there. I don't think it's very noisy because I shot these images at ISO 100 or 200. I'd have to go back in and check. But very low ISO on my Sony a7R5 camera. And the base ISO on that camera is 100. So I probably did shoot it at 100. And now I don't want to balance color. I do want to choose something else, and that's to sharpen. And so now it should go through and do a little bit of removing noise first, and then it's going to sharpen. And then we're going to output this back out to Adobe Photoshop by clicking the bottom right there. And we're almost done here. As soon as it renders, I'm going to enlarge it 100%, and we're going to see if it did indeed do a good job. So I'm just going to click there for a shortcut. Now this is denoised and rendered sharp. Let me turn that off, and just keep your eyes back in the on the mountain there and the barn. And I think it's done a great job. Let me lower this back down. And now I would simply hit Command or Control E to flatten it. And I would go through and convert it to 8-bit and do anything else I see. But I think I'll do one more thing while I have you guys here. See these little yellows? I'm going to go back into Adobe Camera Raw one more time. And we're going to go right here to the color mixer, and I'm going to drop into this cottonwood and bring those yellows up just a little bit more. Now I could mask off the rest of this if I wanted to. I could do it either in here. Well, I can't do it in here. I'd have to come out to Photoshop, excuse me. And the way I would have done it is create a separate layer, but I kind of like that it brought up a little more warmth on the barn here. So, something kind of fun. Now, I know the purists out there may say, Dom, that's cheating. You know, I'm opposed to dropping in skies. I'm opposed to taking trees out of a frame, things like that. But on this light blending, if, you know, I guess it's cheating. You guys are going to have to make that decision, not me. I just think the overall picture is what's important, and I probably could have gone back and gotten that same look through a lot of selections and through a lot of processing in the image. I probably could have got a similar look here, but let's take a look at it again. And I just like that the sun, sorry about that, that the sun is just hitting that barn and catching the trees, and the key to me, or the peaks rather, and the key to me in doing all this is it doesn't look unnatural. It looks like that's natural. Okay, so I'll let you guys make your own decision. I just wanted to show you how to do it. Now you got that in your little bag of tricks. Hey, join us next week. I'm really excited because we're going out on location. In fact, the day I'm filming this, we're hoping to go out for a sunset shoot. When I say we, that's my wife, Beri, and myself. She's going to be my cameraman, and we're going to actually do an on-location shoot, hopefully at a real cool beach up the southern Big Sur coast called Sand Dollar Beach, for those of you familiar with the Big Sur coast. So that'll be our next video up, and we'll see if we can pull it off. And until next time, keep creating, you guys. It's great for the soul. Have a great day.